There were two girls, June and Jennifer. They were twins, identical in every visible way. The same face, the same hair, the same quiet presence in a room, but they shared something far deeper. They shared a silence wrapped around them like a cloak, shutting out the world. They refused to speak to parents, siblings, teachers. They moved as a single unit, two bodies with one shared, unspoken will. Their silence was full, a secret world they created. They existed in a lonely orbit, revolving only around each other. From their earliest days in Haverfordwest, the twins were different. In the bustling, noisy environment of primary school, their silence was a stark and jarring anomaly. Teachers would call their names, and there would be no response. Children would try to play with them, only to be met with a wall of unblinking stillness, bullied for their race, bullied for their quietness. The taunts drove them further into their private sanctuary. Their shared world became their only refuge. They retreated so far inside themselves, the outside world a distant, muffled noise. Gloria and Aubrey were at a loss. While they were silent to the world, June and Jennifer were anything but silent with each other. When they believed they were truly alone, a strange and secret language would emerge. It was a high-speed, chirping patois, a mixture of Barbadian slang English, spoken so rapidly that it was utterly incomprehensible to anyone who might overhear it. This was their private tongue, the language of their secret nation of two. It was the tool they used to build and maintain their shared reality, a verbal fortress to complement the fortress of their silence. This secret communication was the lifeblood of their bond, flowing between them constantly, unseen and unheard by others. This language, which they called their own idioglossia, was more than just a code, it was a manifestation of their unity. At the heart of the twins' silent world was a pact. It was an unspoken yet rigidly enforced agreement. The core tenet: as long as one twin lived, the other could not be free. They were bound together, for better, for worse. As the twins entered their late teenage years, the hermetically sealed world of their bedroom began to feel, well, pretty suffocating. Their dreams of literary fame, fueled by self-published novels sent to countless publishers, had been met with rejection and, honestly, just silence. The frustration and pent-up energy that had been channeled into writing now started to look for a new, more dangerous outlet, culminating in a spree of arson. Fire became their new medium of expression. The gates of Broadmoor Hospital closed behind June and Jennifer in 1982, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their confinement. They were just 19 years old. This was a world far harsher than their bedroom sanctuary. It was a place filled with some of the country's most dangerous and mentally ill criminals. Yet, even in this intimidating environment, the twins' bond held fast. Their silent pact continued. Their strange, mirrored behaviors baffled staff. Their strange, mirrored behaviors baffled doctors. They were a psychological enigma, a case unlike any the seasoned professionals at Broadmoor had ever encountered. They were together, yet more alone than ever. For 11 long years, they were subjects of intense study and observation. They were given high doses of antipsychotic medications, which left them sluggish and dulled their creative impulses, but did little to alter their fundamental behavior. The relationship between June and Jennifer was a tempest of conflicting emotions, a complex dance between an inseparable bond and a deep-seated resentment. On the surface, they were a unit, a single entity in two bodies, moving in an unnerving, mirrored unison. To the outside world, they were an impenetrable fortress of shared identity. But beneath that placid, silent exterior, a violent struggle for dominance and individuality was constantly raging. Each sister desperately craved her own life, separate from her twin. Their love was possessive and suffocating, a bond so tight it left no room to breathe. Their hatred was the dark flip side of that same coin, equally intense and all-consuming. Their secret diaries became the only true outlet for this war. The entries are a chilling testament to their conflict, filled with passages where one twin plots the demise of the other, seeing it as the only path to freedom. Jennifer wrote of June, "She wants us to be equal." But this wasn't a plea for fairness, it was a threat. She continued, "There is a murderous gleam in her eye." This internal conflict didn't just stay on the page, it often erupted into shocking physical violence, with each twin attempting to strangle, drown, or even bludgeon their other half. These episodes were sudden and brutal, followed by periods of unnerving calm. An unspoken truce would settle, and they would return to their eerie synchronicity as if nothing had happened. It was as if they were two magnets, fused by an inseparable force, yet constantly repelling each other. The mirror was cracked, showing a distorted and warring reflection of a single fractured self. After 11 long, grueling years locked away inside the imposing walls of Broadmoor High Security Hospital, the world outside had become a distant, almost forgotten memory. But then, a glimmer of hope appeared. A chance to leave the cold, sterile environment that had been their prison for over a decade. A decision was made to transfer the twins to a lower security facility, the Caswell Clinic in Wales. This new clinic was not only less restrictive, but it was also significantly closer to their family home. It was a crucial step towards a potential, eventual release. For the first time, a life beyond institutional walls seemed tangible, almost within their grasp. But as the day of the transfer approached, the twins made a strange and final pact. They had long believed their intense, symbiotic bond was a cage, preventing either from living a normal life. They came to a grim, chilling conclusion. For one of them to be truly free, the other had to die. It was Jennifer who made the ultimate sacrifice. Just before the move, she confided in their biographer Marjorie Wallace. In a calm, matter-of-fact tone, she said, "Marjorie, I'm going to have to die." On the morning of March 9th, 1993, the day of their transfer, the sisters boarded the bus to Caswell. During the journey, Jennifer rested her head on June's shoulder. She whispered, "At last we're out," and fell into a deep, comatose sleep, a sleep from which she would never fully awaken. It was as if, with their freedom in sight, she was finally letting go. Her part in their dark, secret pact was fulfilled, a final tragic gift to her sister. In the quiet, solitary years following Jennifer's death, June slowly began to build a life for herself. For the first time, she was navigating the world not as one half of a pair, but as an individual, learning to fill the vast silence she had once shared. But as Jennifer had predicted, with her death, the chains of their pact were broken. The oppressive silence lifted like a morning fog, revealing a world of possibilities. The transformation that followed was astonishing. The woman who had been mute for decades now spoke, her voice finding its own rhythm. She went shopping by herself, making small choices that were entirely her own. And she began to tentatively engage with her community, finding a cautious comfort in simple human connection. She was no longer one half of a whole, but a single, complete person, discovering her own thoughts and desires. This newfound freedom was the life that Jennifer had so tragically and deliberately sacrificed for her. The ghost of Jennifer, however, never truly left her side. In the quiet moments, her twin's presence was a constant, bittersweet echo. The profound bond that defined them for nearly 30 years could not be severed completely, even by death. Today, June lives quietly, carrying both the freedom of her new life and the immense weight of their shared past. Every independent step is a testament to Jennifer's sacrifice. They were the silent twins, two sisters bound by a love so fierce it became a prison. Theirs was a single, tragic destiny, leaving the world to wonder about the unseen universe they inhabited and the terrible price of their final, desperate pact for freedom.